What kind of risk builds men? Risk something that we're all at least hardwired in part to do. I imagine that there's some kind of risk that builds them up and another kind that destroys them.
Well, I think constantly trying to be in rooms you don't deserve to be in. Apply to schools you shouldn't get into. Apply to jobs you shouldn't get into or you shouldn't receive.
Take a shot at girls that you don't have any.
Express friendship with men more impressive than you. Probably the most important thing for a young man is to surround yourself with, at least in the short term, men who you perceive as being higher character and more successful than you.
The reality is the more risk you take, the luckier you get. So people need to learn to take one big risk a day. And that could be walking up to someone and saying, would you like to go out on a date? You know, like practice that risk muscle.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time. And in your 20s, you can get so scared and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's gonna disappoint you.
What have you got to lose?
Exactly. And that was it. And it was like, I have nothing to lose. And that was when I think in the last podcast we talked about this, where it's like, if everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as, I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person.
But risk must be taken for the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, has nothing, does nothing, is nothing.
You have to be willing to just really fucking throw yourself into something.
Yeah.
And know that, especially in the beginning, there's no time to fuck off here. If you really want to do something that's really hard to do, like, you got to be all in.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people that are all in.
Yeah.
And you're competing with them.
Yeah.
You're not competing with these like half-steppers, these people that are kind of dipping in and dipping out.
Yeah.
They're there as an example for you to not live your life.
Yeah.
You have to be like all in. And if you're not all in, you're going to get beat up in front of loads of people. That's just the way it goes.
Missing out on risk is that we have this big fear of this thing, when the reality is that if you risk nothing, you become nothing. You are nothing. Because nothing ventured, nothing gained. You're not going to get what you want by never risking what you have. And the thing is that the things that we have aren't always material. And I think this is actually one of the big misconceptions of people who are starting out, is like, I can easily stand here and say, you were the most dangerous in the beginning because you have nothing to lose.
Pressure changes everything, pressure. Some people, you squeeze them, they focus. Others fold. Can you summon your talent and will? Can you deliver on a deadline? Can you sleep at night?
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
Highest risk takers are the ones that actually win. Elon Musk took $150 million that he made from PayPal. He could have been retired, living on 10% off that shit every single year in some Caribbean island. And he said, fuck it, putting all the money into Tesla, SpaceX, and I'm going all in. And he had to ask for money in order to do what? Rent a room. Risk. No risk, no reward. You want to risk? Okay, that's where the game is played.
The fear that people have when they're starting out is that they say things like, I have nothing going for me. I have no advantages. I have nothing to my name. I have no money. I have no network. I have no resources. But using Rory Sutherland's reframing, it also means that you have nothing to lose, which makes you incredibly dangerous. And I think people wildly underestimate how many shots on goal you can take when you have nothing to lose. Whereas when someone has something to lose, they have to be more and more selective about the shots they take. And so you have the perfect conditions for taking risk, because the worst case scenario is baseline, is where you're currently at. A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition.
Look, you're my best friend, so don't take this the wrong way. In 20 years, if you're still living here, coming over my house to watch the Patriots game, still working construction, I'll fucking kill you. That's not a threat, what? That's a fact. I'll fucking kill you. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, you got something none of us have. Oh, come on. Why is it always this? I mean, I fucking owe it to myself to do this or that. What if I don't want to? No. Fuck you. You don't owe it to yourself. You owe it to me. Because tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'll be 50. And I'll still be doing this shit. And that's all right, that's fine.
We are in control of our momentum. If you are in a terrible place right now, if your life sucks right now, and you're waiting around for things to get better, that's not what you should be doing. That's not how it works. You need to take action. You need to control what you can control, which is your food, what you put in your mind, how you move your body, how much water you drink, who you associate with, the things that are in your control.
In life, folks, you cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
Do everything that you feel, even if you are told that it's the wrong thing. No. But not anything violent.
So do what you feel, say what you feel. Like, trust your heart.
Yeah, trust your gut. Trust your instincts, because that instinct is who God made you to be.
I mean, you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket. You're too much of a pussy to cash it in. And that's bullshit. Because I'd do fucking anything to have what you got. So would any of these fucking guys. It'd be an insult to us if you're still here in 20 years. Hanging around here is a fucking waste of your time.
You know where you want to go. You need your compelling future. You need to keep pushing forward, and you can't expect others to get your dreams, because they weren't downloaded in them. They were downloaded in you.
Would you wake up in the morning if everyone that you love's life depended on it and be like, yeah, well, maybe I should scroll on TikTok for a little while? No, you'd be like, I'm gonna take action immediately. And so it doesn't need to be like a fear of losing everybody, but what's really behind that is like why they're doing it.
Nobody seen my vision. Nobody believed in what I was talking about. And I get it. That's cool. Just give me some time and I'm gonna show you how we finna do this.
If you wake up and every day you obsess over something and you live and breathe it, and that's what you think about, that's what you do, that's what you study on and off, that's what you stay up every night grinding, and no one else even gives a flying about it, it's like, you just feel like a weirdo.
Everything in life that's hard is just a series of things that are easy. You just have to take that first step, right? And your idea could be the next Nobel Prize, or it could be the next pool toy. But the point is taking that responsibility for yourself and committing to yourself to say, I'm gonna take action and I'm gonna make it happen.
And I think that if most people could figure out like, oh yeah, well, I wanna do this thing. Why do you wanna do it? And my very first one-on-one coach used to say to me, he would say, what's your why? What's your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? He would like hammer it home in my head. And I was like, why do you ask this so much? And he would always say, because if your why is strong enough, your how will reveal itself. If you know why you want to do something, how it's gonna be done, you'll figure out. It doesn't matter. Things are gonna get in your way. There's gonna be obstacles. There's always gonna be obstacles. There's always gonna be challenges. There's always gonna be moments of like, I don't know if I can do this. But if your why is so strong, it's like, I don't care what comes up in front of me. I'm gonna get it done.
Wisdom comes from experience, and experience takes time. The more experience you have, the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you can get. If you haven't lived long enough to have a broad enough portfolio of experience, then you can't expect to have knowledge and wisdom.
One thing you can't escape is that to be good at anything, you got to put the hours in. It is hard work. I mean, look, yes, people win the lottery. You hear about these crazy success stories, but they are one in literally a billion. Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, the majority of people I've met who haven't inherited anything, but have just built something on their own. They've done it because they're talented, they've got great instincts, and importantly, they have really, really put the hours in.
You won the lottery, and most people will never even know there was a lottery. If that's not motivation to live life to the fullest and not fear death, because I'd rather die than never having been born, I don't know what is.
So I said, we don't experience life, we experience life we focus on.
Yes.
So it's our job to direct the focus. You're constantly focused on what's missing versus what you have. You're focused on what you can't control. Well, you can't control that outside world, you can influence it. But I can certainly control what I focus on, what it means to me, what I'm gonna do. And so now when things come in, they bounce off.
Now, most 22-year-olds, irrespective of domain, that's why I have these if you seek to be good at something, then you have a tremendous deficit in experience and repetitions that people who are ahead of you or who have achieved what you want to achieve have over you. And so the only thing that you have, now you do have an advantage, you have a couple. Number one is that you will have more energy than they do, period. And so your ability to work long hours, sleep less, and maintain high levels of focus while maintaining peak fluid intelligence is at its peak. Use it. The second thing is that you have nothing to lose.
Don't ever think or believe that you gotta smoke what they smoke, drink what they drink, wear what they wear, be a part of whatever it is they made you do. And guess what? If it's considered something negative to me, but yet you're doing it and it makes you happy, I want you to do what makes you happy. Live your life.
Most people have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. My plan was this must work or it must work. It was this or death for me.
Where the best way to fight the demons that chase you in the night is to stop and turn around. Turn around, face them, man up.
And so the thing is people always fear being the new entrant. But when you have nothing to lose or you have nothing going for you, it also means you have nothing to lose. And that means that every position on the board always has an advantage, because anybody who has achieved this big thing that you have was also once a 22-year-old who had nothing going for them.
And you're at zero.
Right.
You can't get worse than this.
You have unlimited shots on goal. And so not taking the shot is like saying, life, I don't want to scratch off this lottery ticket, but the lottery ticket's free. Why would you not scratch it off and try it?
You see this guy here staring back at you? Yeah. That's your toughest opponent. Every time you get into the ring, that's who you're going against. I believe that in boxing, and I do believe that in life, okay?
Let me tell you something. This isn't elementary school. This is hard work, long hours, high pressure. I need a grown goddamn man.
You give me this, and I will work as hard as it takes to school those Harvard douches and become the best lawyer you have ever seen.
This is my life, man. Do you know how hard I worked to get here?
First advantage is you've got energy. Next advantage is you have nothing to lose. Third is you also have time, and you have very low responsibilities. And so you have not only the ability to put all of yourself into something, you also have no circumstantial things that are preventing you. Now, if someone is listening to this and like, I'm 25 and I've got a kid, cool. And which thing do you want to sacrifice? And I'm not saying sacrifice your kid, but I'm saying like, you're going to have some traits.
If your goals aren't powerful, if the vision isn't clear, the old prophet said, without a vision we die, without a vision we perish, without a dream we're nothing.
Fear is gone. Make up your mind that fear is not going to stop you from doing the thing you really want to do. Step out and do it today.
Well, Confucius had a great saying that, every man has two lives, and the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
Fail as much as humanly possible.
Everything we think comes into existence. So only think things that you want to come into existence. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you.
Everyone thinks you're crazy until it works. And so, I mean, if you think of the outcome as the trump card, then all of the pain and suffering that you lead up to that point, if you're just, I'm trying to think of an appropriate saying. I was gonna say balls deep certain that no matter what, you will die or you will get there. then the likelihood that all of the things that you've done up to that point will then be justified in retrospect is super high.